Have you ever felt like you really know someone, only to discover something completely unexpected later on? We've all been there at some point, caught off guard by a person's behavior that didn't match the charming front they put on. So, how can you uncover someone's true character early in a relationship? How do you know if they're the real deal? In today's video, I'm going to share 5 simple but powerful ways to uncover someone's true character before you get too emotionally invested in a relationship. Whether you're just starting to date, or you're in the early stages of a relationship and wondering if your partner is as genuine as they seem, these tips will give you the insight you need. This is especially important because, let's face it, nobody wants to fall for someone who isn't who they claim to be, right? So, if you're ready to protect your heart and build a relationship that's based on trust and mutual respect, stick with me until the end. These tips will change the way you approach new relationships. Let's dive in. 1. Observe how they treat people in service positions. One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, ways to spot someone's true character is by watching how they interact with people who can't do anything for them. Like waitstaff, cashiers, baristas, or anyone in a service position. It's easy to be charming to someone who's in a position to give you something in return, but how do they act when there's no benefit to them at all? Why it matters. Someone who treats people in service positions with kindness, respect, and patience shows that they value human beings for who they are, not for their status or what they can provide. It shows emotional intelligence and humility. On the flip side, someone who's rude, dismissive, or condescending to service workers might display entitlement, impatience, or a lack of empathy. How to spot it? Next time you're out together, pay close attention. Are they quick to say, "Thank you," when a waiter brings their food? Do they treat the cashier like they're invisible, or do they engage in a pleasant conversation? The way they treat others, especially those they don't need, reveals volumes about their character. It's important to note, this isn't just about a one-time interaction, but about their general behavior over time. Example. Maybe you're at a restaurant, and the waiter forgets something. Watch how your date reacts. Do they get upset in a calm, respectful way, or do they snap at the staff? These little moments can tell you a lot. 2. See how they handle conflict or stress. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, and stress is just part of life. The real question is, how does your partner behave when things don't go according to plan? How they handle conflict or stress can reveal a lot about their emotional maturity, their coping mechanisms, and their ability to communicate effectively. Why it matters. A person who stays calm, listens actively, and seeks to resolve issues in a constructive way is likely to have emotional maturity and problem-solving skills that will help the relationship thrive. But someone who avoids conflict, gets defensive, or resorts to anger or manipulation could be hiding unresolved issues that will make it difficult to build a healthy relationship. How to spot it. Pay attention during arguments, whether they're with you or someone else. When things go wrong, do they listen and try to understand your perspective? Do they acknowledge their own mistakes, or do they just blame others? Watch for things like defensiveness or hostility. Healthy conflict resolution is a crucial part of any lasting relationship. Example. You're planning a weekend getaway, and things get complicated. Maybe a flight gets cancelled or the hotel messed up your reservation. How does your partner handle it? Do they stay calm and work with you to find a solution, or do they get frustrated, raise their voice, and shut down? Their response can tell you a lot about how they'll handle bigger challenges down the road. 3. Pay attention to how they talk about others, especially when they're not around. One of the clearest windows into someone's true character is how they speak about others, especially when that person isn't around to defend themselves. If they're respectful and considerate, they'll speak about others with kindness, regardless of whether or not they're present. Why it matters. When someone speaks negatively or gossips about others, it can signal a lack of respect, integrity, and empathy. If they're willing to talk behind someone's back, it might mean they're also capable of doing the same about you. How they treat others behind closed doors can reveal how they'll treat you in the future, especially if things get difficult. How to spot it. Listen carefully to how they describe their friends, coworkers, or even strangers. Do they have a habit of criticizing people, especially when that person isn't there? Are they quick to gossip or belittle others? If they constantly have negative things to say about others, it could be a sign they don't have respect for people, which is a major red flag. Example. You might overhear them talking about a mutual friend or colleague. Do they speak with empathy and understanding, or do they immediately start tearing them down for a small mistake? How they talk about others in casual conversation gives you an idea of how they might speak about you when you're not around. 4. Observe how they respond to acts of kindness. How someone responds when you show them kindness is another key indicator of their true character. Are they grateful for your thoughtfulness, or do they take it for granted? Their reaction can tell you how humble, appreciative, and emotionally mature they are. Why it matters. Someone who's genuinely thankful for your efforts shows they value you and your relationship. They understand the effort behind your actions and show you appreciation. If they act like it's no big deal, or even worse, act like it's expected, it may signal a lack of gratitude and empathy. How to spot it. Do something kind for them. Whether it's a surprise date, a thoughtful gift, or supporting them during a tough time. Watch how they react. Do they express genuine appreciation, or do they brush it off? Their reaction will help you gauge how much they value you and the relationship. Example. You surprise them with a small thoughtful gesture, like cooking their favorite meal or planning a special outing. Are they genuinely touched and show appreciation, or do they act like it's no big deal? It's a subtle but important signal about their emotional maturity and gratitude. 5. Look at their consistency over time. The true test of someone's character is whether they are consistent, not just in the short term but over time. Are they reliable? Do their actions match their words? Consistency is key when it comes to understanding someone's true nature. People can put on a great show initially, but the real question is, can they keep it up? Why it matters. Someone who consistently follows through on their promises and shows up when they say they will is someone you can count on. If their behavior is unpredictable, flaky, or they constantly make excuses, it may be a sign that they're not as reliable or trustworthy as they appear. How to spot it. Watch their behavior over time. Do they stick to their word? Are they consistently kind and respectful, or do their actions change depending on the situation? Consistency in words and actions is a huge indicator of character, so look for patterns of behavior. Example. Perhaps they promise to call you at a certain time, but they frequently forget or cancel at the last minute. If this happens more than once, it could be a red flag. If they're flaky in small things, they could be flaky in bigger, more important moments. Now that you have 5 solid ways to uncover someone's true character early on, it's important to remember one thing. Your instincts are everything. If something feels off, trust that feeling. Early signs can save you from a lot of heartache and stress. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever spotted a red flag early in a relationship? Or maybe you've missed one and it came back to haunt you later? Share your experience in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if you're looking for more relationship tips, like how to build trust with your partner, make sure to check out my video on building trust in relationships. It's linked right here. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.